New York City. It's loud, fast, packed with people. But for most, it feels empty. A city that builds dreams and breaks backs. Then there's this place. It doesn't train you, it remakes you. But behind every fortress are architects. Kyle Fields, athlete, runner, and footballer, turned entrepreneur. The man who founded Fort NYC, then moved to Austin, Texas, now runs everything from a distance, but never disconnected.
Life in Austin is pretty easy.
Dan Trink, a coach who knows the weight room like a second language, a trainer, bodybuilder, and art lover.
So when I was a kid, the very first thing that I ever wanted to be was an artist.
Here, no one gets lost in the noise. Everyone is seen. Everyone is known.
It's really nice that all the instructors know your name. They kind of know where you're at in terms of like fitness and strength.
It's not just the programming, not just the weight. It's the people, the connection, the culture. This is where strangers become a tribe and pain becomes power.
With an injury or having a bad day, or I could come in and see someone I recognize and I wasn't going to get lost in the chaos.
This isn't just about looking strong. It's about being strong. This is Fort NYC, and this is how they got here.
It was the last week of law school. So the end was coming near. I had to figure something out, but I transformed myself. I sent some photos to an agent in Pittsburgh that did bookings for Dick's Sports and GNC. They were both headquartered out there. And he invited me up to like do some shoots, and I got some jobs for Dick's Sports and GNC. So moved to New York, started getting jobs. He put me on romance novel covers. He put me in Men's Health. I was in magazines. I got decent work. And through all of it, people start asking you like, how did you do this? Like, how did you look like this? And that's where personal training started coming in. And Topher, my agent, introduced me to a gym owner that he managed named Joe Dowdell. And the gym was called Peak Performance. It was the best gym in New York. It was probably the best gym in the world. It was a personal training gym. There were all these celebrities there. Sarah Jessica Parker, Gerard Butler, Hilary Swank, Ethan Hawke, 50 Cent. It was crazy. Like I was in the room with like these celebrities and they're asking me like what I do to train. Like what? Like the opportunities were starting, you know, and I started to get it. And that's where it was Peak Performance where I met my business partner, Dan. He was actually my boss. Dan taught me how to train other people. So I had this one client, Larry, who we just talked about this for a year. He was a lawyer. He had his own law firm. He always kind of hinted like, well, like put a business plan together, like try, you might have my support. You know, I didn't have enough money to start a gym, but he did. And Dan saw what I was doing. He saw me writing and working and, you know, developing this idea. And one day he came to me and he was like, you know, I see what you're doing. I see what you're working on and I want in. And I was like, whoa, that's incredible. Dan was way above my pay grade. Like he was my boss. Like he taught me everything. He wanted to join me in what I was working on. So that's when we decided to pull the trigger and start the Fort.
What do you think people want to pay for in fitness? I think the general public, like what are they paying money to get? Spaces, environments, equipment, effects. Like what is it really that people want?
All right, I could answer that question in 2 words. One is connection, and the second is time. I think people want to feel connected to the fitness they're doing, that it is meaningful to them, that they're doing it around other like-minded people who share the enthusiasm and make the experience better. I think the days of just slogging it out in your own corner of the gym it's just decreasing the people's desire to do that. And you have to be like a special person to really like be able to do that every day and have it be meaningful and keep going back to it. And then secondly, I think time. I think people value their time. They want their fitness to be as efficient as possible while being as effective as possible. So if they feel connected to it, if they feel connected to the community of it, to the effect and the feeling of it, and then if it's as efficient as possible in getting them where they want to go, I think if you can deliver those two things, then people will flock to you and keep with it, and it'll be successful.
I think more and more what we deliver is an environment of community and support. Really, when you come in, you know the people there. More and more people come in that know you, that you're comfortable with. It's cheers. It's very hard to create these spaces because they're organically built on interaction and friendships. You can't force that.
But that's one of the things that I'm most proud of that we do, which is, we've created environments where we can unleash best practices, really good workouts, really good training methodology, really well thought through things, really psychologically engaging workouts and training that allow people to do this for the long haul. And I think doing it, over the course of not weeks, but months and years and decades is really what you should be aiming for and what kind of gets you where you want to go.
I've been training at the Fort for 8 weeks.
7 or 8 months now.
For about a year now.
I think about 5 weeks.
Since the beginning. I'm member number 7.
I actually found the Fort through social media. I took a chance on a sign up for a 2-week trial. I felt that when I was coming off of quarantining especially, I had a chance to kind of like reset and someone who understood what I was looking for in a workout. And so I started my 2-week trial.
We can thank the internet gods because I was pointed to the Fort through a targeted Instagram ad. I think that maybe 2 minutes after I walked into the gym, I said I was going to join.
Tried to get back into running, did not go over well. And so I started Googling strength and conditioning gyms because strength is a huge part of injury prevention. Ended up hearing about the Fort through Instagram, checked it out, chatted with Dan, and it seemed like the perfect fit for me. So
my buddy owned the gym and Kyle was my trainer. So he also became a really good friend and he trained me there and he brought me over to his new gym.
I heard about the Fort through a friend of mine that I used to train with in Hong Kong, who currently also trains at the Fort. And she knew I was looking for something like the Fort, but never could find it. And I think that was the best blessing I've ever had.
It's tribal and it's like accountability. I think all fitness communities in a sense have a sense of tribe, right? But you get to know people a lot more intimately than you would in a large fitness class. You learn about them, you share stories, they give you lessons, they teach you how to do stuff here, folks that have been here for a while, but then also you kind of find your vibe.
This is a space where you can walk in with a bazillion questions and know that you're going to get quality answers as well as technique and specification and corrections. So you're not going to be setting yourself up for injury. In fact, you're going to be setting yourself up to be a student every day. You'll always be learning. And every time you come back, you'll learn something new and can keep growing.
This is just the beginning. The origin story of the Fort. How the best gym in NYC rose from an idea to a movement. A place that's changing lives, one rep at a time. The journey continues. Let's see what's next.